Make.com have just launched a new AI agents feature, and I'm going to show you exactly how to build your own AI agents today using these workflows. Now, it's super powerful. So this is a brand new feature. It's actually in beta right now. It's literally just come out, and you can see the feature right here. Now, this is pretty cool because, for example, we can have a SEO assistant directly inside the chat. We can ask it any questions or tell it to do stuff. And it is linked to multiple tools, so it can just go off and do that directly inside Telegram, right? So for example, I said send a short email about our sales recipe to Vic at juliangoldie.com, figure out what to say. And it literally did it. It said, "Hi Vic, I wanted to share the recipe with you for sales. It covers everything you need to know, blah, blah, blah." And actually send that email in the send box right there. If we say, "Okay, are you working?" Let's check this out. We'll give it a cheeky whirl here. So if we say, "Are you working?" It says, "Yes, I'm currently active and ready to assist you. How can I help?" It's super powerful, and it is not the easiest to set up. It's a little bit technical, but I think it's kind of like NSM. Once you get your head around it, you're good to go. So you can see here, Make.com have introduced AI agents, and I'm going to walk you through the process step by step. The cool thing is that once you get your head around this, I would say in some ways it's easier and faster to set up than something like NA10. And the reason that I say that is because you can connect this to different tools. So you can create an automation bot that's very quick to set up, and it has access to your Google Drive, your emails, it can access documents. I'll show you exactly what I mean and how it works in a second, all right? So it's centralizing everything. For example, all the scenarios, all the workflows that you use inside Make.com, you can now connect to your AI agent. You can also build them out using free APIs, right? So you can actually plug in a free API. I'm using Google Flash to build this AI agent out. And then additionally, when you're building these out, it's $10 a month for 10,000 operations. I know some people want to say, "Oh, but it's not free," but for $10 a month to save you thousands of hours, I think it's 100% worth it. Maybe some people don't value their time, but I think it is awesome to be able to send emails and automate responses and link it to Telegram, etc. So I'm going to show you exactly how to get this set up and where to go and what to do first of all. If you want all the links from today, all the scenarios, all the templates that we use, feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Just go to the SCP's whole collection section and you'll see this section on how to set up Make.com AI agent. So the first thing you want to do is set up the AI agent, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to sign up for a Make.com account. Make sure you're on the $10 a month plan. So for example, if you go to organization over here, and then we go to subscription, you want to make sure you're on the $10 a month plan. If you don't do that, you won't see the AI agents beta section. So you have to do that first of all to get set up, right? And then from there, you're going to create an agent. So for example, if we go to create an agent, we can use a pre-existing connection. So I could use, for example, Gemini. You can add a new one there as well if you want. You're going to give it a name. So we're going to put test for a YouTube video. Then you're going to choose whichever model you want. So for example, if you're using Gemini, then you can use Gemini 2.0 Flash, 1.5 Pro, etc. Right? Pretty simple and easy to do. So let's test this out. We've got Frank in the house. Welcome, Frank. Thanks for commenting, mate. Hope you're doing well. And then inside the system prompt here, we can say, okay, you're a helpful personal assistant for Julian Goldie, the one and only. All right. And then if you, for example, connect, I don't know, let's say OpenAI or Anthropic, etc., then you're going to see different models. So you would see under Anthropic like Claude. Or for example, if it was OpenAI, it'd be ChatGPT, right? Or GPT. So we're going to hit save for now. And so we've got a helpful assistant for Julian Goldie. And now we need to connect it to system tools. So for example, if you look here, you can see all of your scenarios. But what you have to do is make sure, number one, the scenario is active. And number two, that it's on demand, right? And what I mean by this is the scenarios that you're setting up, the tools that you're connecting, they have to be on demand, which means they're triggered whenever you want them to go. You can't have, for example, it watching a workflow. If you have it watching a template or a sheet, etc., it's not going to be able to do its magic. So let me show you an example of what I mean by this, right? So you're going to set up the tools for the AI agent. Let me show you an example. So if we open up this email sender scenario, basically you're in this section, you're empowering your AI agent to do whatever you want it to do. For example, that could be checking emails or creating a Google Doc or editing Google Docs, etc. And the way this process works, if I had to break it down into simple steps, it'd be like, right, number one, you're going to set up an AI agent like I've just shown you inside May.com. That's going to be step number one. Step number two, you're going to connect loads of tools. The more tools you give this, the more powerful it's going to be, right? So, for example, if you can check Gmail, Google Docs, if it can, for example, connect to like image software, or if it can create a Google Doc, even better, right? So we've got the AI agent that's connected to a tool. And then finally, we've got the outputs and the publishing ready to go once you've done that. And I would recommend that you actually connect that inside something like Telegram, because Telegram is much easier to use versus anything else, right? It's like using WhatsApp. You can just type stuff in, right? So if I say, for example, send an email to me at juliangoldie.com telling himself to build an AI agent, you figure out the message, etc. It should do that, okay? And it said, okay, I've sent an email to me at juliangoldie.com telling myself to build an AI agent. If you go now to the send messages inside, we've got that section right here. It says me at juliangoldie.com. You should build an AI agent. I definitely should build an AI agent. All right, so for example, we've got Gmail here, and this doesn't need to be anything fancy or anything like that. Like literally, you're just connecting the app, right? So it could be like one single app. For example, we've got here email. We've got the customer email address, then we've got the email subject, then we've got the email content, right? That's all you need. You don't need anything fancy inside the tool. It's literally just one thing like that. Now, if we actually go to scenarios and inputs, what you would do here is you're going to add items, right? So for example, you can see in the scenarios and input section at the bottom next to the save option, you would add the scenarios and inputs. So let me show you exactly how to set this up from scratch, right? Once you set up your AI agent, which I've shown you already in step one, for example, test for a YouTube video, then you're going to go to scenarios, create a new scenario, and then from here, you can just put in whatever you want to connect it to, right? So for example, it could be even like WordPress. You could just connect it to WordPress and say, okay, create a post. And then we can just put that on. So for example, juliangoldie.com, and then you can set up a new scenario like that. And if you go back to the email scenario, what you're going to notice here is that once you've inserted your scenario, you have to make sure that you've added the inputs, the input structure. Now, these are my settings. So customer _email _address, description left blank, type text, default value, blah, 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 email subject, and that's just email _subject, kept everything blank, and then email content, right? Kept everything blank again, but you just want to put email _content. And then you would put that inside the inputs here. So email address, subject, content, boom, ready to get that sent out, right? Leonard says, I'm a machine, Julian. That's what we're talking about. Thank you, Leonard. All right, so let's keep going now. I've shown you how to set this up. If you want to add a Gmail scenario like this, you just right click the background. So you right click that, add a module, Gmail, and then whatever you want it to do. So if you want to be able to send emails with your AI agent, you would just select that right there. And then you can put the inputs in there. All right. And then for the inputs as well, what you'll notice is these are blue, right? Now to set them as blue, we've got the scenario inputs here. So you have to go. So what you do is for the field, let's say, for example, you want to set up the custom email address. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to the squiggly brackets at the top here, click on that. Then you're going to select scenario inputs, and then you just click whichever one you want, drag it in, and there you go. So for example, customer email address is that. Email content is that. Email subject line, boom. There you go. All right. And the AI agent can just figure this out. Vikas, is this live or pre-recorded, mate? It is live, my friend. We're live and direct. All right. So we've got this going now, but it will be available to watch back later as well. And we'll create a condensed version on the channel. That's the Gmail now as well. All right. And by the way, if you want to learn like when the schedules are for the live calls, etc., just go to the calendar here. And then inside the calendar, you can see the weekly Q&A calls. We actually have one happening today, so make sure you join. All right, so now we can use that scenario that we found, right? So if we type in email over here, we've got the send email replies. Now, once you've set up the scenario, added the app, added the inputs, and I told you this is not that easy to get your head around at first. I did warn you about that. Then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to just get this set up on demand, right? So you see here, run scenario. We didn't choose at regular intervals or once, etc. It's on demand. So whenever we need to use it, it's ready to go right there. Okay. Nice and easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm going to discard the changes there. If you want me to, actually, let's go on this. I think I can download, there we go. I can export the blueprint. If you want the blueprint for all this stuff, I'm going to put it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So let's upload that file, and the blueprint is right there. And we'll call that the email tool for AI agents. Boom. All right. So if you just want to import it and you don't want to mess around with everything like I did, then you can do it using the resources inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So that was one tool that we linked to the AI agent. If you want to link it, then you go back to your AI agent. So for example, test for a YouTube video. And then down here, you're going to go to System Tools. And then inside System Tools, you're going to add, right? So for example, if we type in email over here, send email replies, click the blue tick, add that in, boom shakalaka. We just got to hit save. And now our agent can send emails. No problem, mate. No problem. So just gonna X off that. Let's get rid of that. All right. Now, once you've done that, you want to add all the tools that you need to. So for example, for me, here's another example. This is the Google Docs example. So what we did with Google Docs, we've got the Google Doc and then we've got return output, right? So the output structure is JG or sales output. So basically what we're doing is we're taking the information from the Google Doc, right? From the document that we've linked to the AI agent, and then we're sending that to an output. Now, if you want to connect this to a Google Doc, you would right click the scenario background, create a new scenario, add a module. From here, you're going to type in whatever you want to connect this to. So for example, Google Docs. And then it depends what you want to do. So maybe you want a list or you want to watch documents. Maybe you want to get the content of a document. You can see here that basically we've trained this tool to be able to look through our documents. Why is that important? Well, it's important because then it can read, for example, like a sales SOP. And then if we wanted to train our team with the sales SOP, we can insert it right here, right inside Telegram. So let's go back here. So if you wanted to set it up exactly like me, you just right click, connect to Google Doc. And then I chose by drop down, My Drive, Sales Training SOP. So let me delete that module, right? So very simple. It's just like a tool connected to our AI agent where we can get the content of a document and then we can send that to our AI agent. Module 1 is get content of a document. Module 2 is scenarios. So you just right click if you want to set this up, click the plus sign, click scenarios, and then return output. And then on the return output, let me show you the settings. So we've linked it to a Google Doc and it's a text content. All right, so we've taken text content from the Google Doc and the custom output that we've set up here is inside the scenarios and output section. Like you can see, and we've just put JG underscore sales SOP. Boom. There we go. So essentially what you're doing is you've got like this AI agent that's connected to multiple different tools, multiple different apps. And that's basically stage 2 of the process. So step 1 was setting up the AI agent, showing you how to do that. Step 2 is to connect tools to the process. Step number 3 is to connect all the tools that you've set up, like for example, Google Docs or the email, inside the AI agent. So if you go back to the AI agent, and if you ever want to see all the AI agents you've set up, you can see them right here. By the way, if you delete any API keys that you're using inside your AI agent, you don't seem to be able to change that. It's a weird bug or something inside the AI agent. What I mean by that, for example, is if you go, I did a test run this morning where I set up a new AI agent on a live stream. I showed the API key. I had to delete the API key straight after live stream. And the problem with that was that I couldn't insert a new API key into my old AI agent. And so it was just broken forever. I could never use it again. And so what you'd have to do is just duplicate it and set up all over again. Right? Just bear in mind. So don't delete any API keys that you're using inside Make AI agents. I'm sure they'll change that in the future. So to add the tools that you set up, like you can see with the Gmail, you just go out to your AI agent, find the one you want to connect the tools to, go to System Tools, click Add, type in whatever you want to type, and then select that. All right. And you can see, again, we've got it active. So it's activated as a scenario, which means it's active at the bottom. And then also it's set up as on demand. On demand is the most important thing there as well. So it's got to be active and it's got to be on demand. So we'll add that in. Boom. There we go. Hit save. We're ready to go. We're living the dream. and we've connected make.com and all the tools to our scenarios. You can also view the scenarios here. You can edit them. You can change the settings. You can change the description. By the way, this description here that you set up for each tool, this description basically helps the AI agent understand what the tool is for, right? So for example, we've put here, this is sales SP data. Or for example, here, we've put, this will help you send emails. So if we go back to our make AI agents, what we're going to do now is we need to create one final scenario. So this is step number 4, all right? Now, I would recommend that you set up a Telegram bot to do this, all right? So let me show you an example of what we've done for this and how it's set up. So we've basically got a Telegram bot that connects to our make AI agents, which is a new module just recently added. And then the output goes to Telegram. So like you send a message, right? This is you sending a message here on Telegram. That connects to the make AI agent. And then with that AI agent, it fires a message out to Telegram. So that's not me sending the message. That's the AI agent sending this, right? So if we go back to here, this is me sending the message. The AI agent thinks about it, and then it's the output right there. Simple, like 3 simple steps. So to add a Telegram bot like this, you would just click the plus sign, click Telegram bot, send a text, or actually what you want to do is click watch updates, and then you have to choose a hook. All right. Now, if you don't have a hook, basically what you have to do here is add a token. All right. So you add a token from Telegram. Now, how do you do that? I'm not going to show my screen here because it's got confidential tokens inside, but essentially you go to the bot father inside Telegram, and then you would ask it to set up a bot. All right. Now, I can talk you through it off screen actually. So inside Telegram, let's close all this. So if you want to get a token, what you're going to do is you're going to go inside the bot. Then you would say /new bot. So these are the instructions if you want to link to Telegram. I'll put it inside the AI Profit Bulletin, but you can see it on the screen as well if you just want to read this whilst we're going through it. So you go to sign into Telegram, go to the bot father, type new bot. Then it's going to say, oh, okay, what should we call the bot? And you just give it a unique name, call the bot a unique name with bot at the end. juliangoldie make AI bot. Once you've done that, it's going to give you the access token, and it's completely free to do this on Telegram, but you get the access token. And once you've got the access token, then you're going to insert that into make. All right. So again, I can't show my screen because it would show my access token and then I'd have to delete the whole thing. But if you want to understand how I do it, that's basically how it works in 4 simple steps. Any problems, any struggles, what I normally do is I'll take a screenshot and then post that into Claude or ChatGPT, explain the problem, and it will give me some good ways to fix it. All right. So let's X off that. So you're going to set up the Telegram bot. That's going to watch for updates. So that's the module, watch for updates. Link whichever bot you want. So I've linked the SEO system bot, hit save, and then you're going to add a new scenario. All right. The new scenario that you can add, if you click add a module, is make AI agents. So you type in make AI agents, like run AI agent, and that's going to run the workflow. Now, if you're wondering, okay, what are the settings for the make AI agent? Let me show you what that looks like. So this is pretty interesting. You can switch between different AI agents. So you could actually have like multiple AI agents speaking to each other, which would be quite interesting. I've not tested that out yet. And then here's where it gets interesting as well. So all those tools you connected inside your AI agent are now available as scenarios inside the workflows, right? So for example, inside Telegram, this AI agent has access to email replies or Google Doc, etc. Right? You can leave the thread ID blank, I believe. And then for the additional system instructions, I just put this is for Telegram messages. You are Julian Goldie. Any URLs you send, use the raw URL. And then for the message, you're going to take the text from the Telegram bot because that's the text you type in. So for example, here you've got message text, and there we go. All right, so it's going from Telegram to the make AI agent, and then from here it's going back to the Telegram bot as the output. For the settings, this took me ages to figure out, by the way. I spent about 3 hours figuring this stuff out today. If you watched my live stream earlier today, then you know how painful learning this process was. But essentially, on the last bit, on the text, send a text message or reply, you're going to select message, chat ID. Okay. So to find that, and this is hidden, so you have to click on the drop down box here for message, then click on chat, then click on ID. And that's what you want, right? That's the chat ID. For the text response, you're going to use the response from the AI agent, make AI agent, and you're just going to select the text response, which is right there. Pass mode, I left as HTML, and that was it. That was as simple as. From there, inside the settings down here, where it says run scenario, you would select immediately, save the workflow, boom shakalaka. We've got the Telegram bot connected to all our different tools inside here. Not that simple. I'm not going to tell you it's easy, but once you get your head around it, it's pretty exciting what you can do. And the power of it is pretty crazy as well. Right, I'm going to delete that. So we're going to discard that. What I want to do as well, I'm just going to put the scenarios and the workflows, etc., inside the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to get this stuff. So link in the comments and description if you want to get this. Let me just download these blueprints so that you know exactly how to access them. So this is a Google Doc one. We'll export that blueprint, go back into the AI Profit Boardroom, and then just inside the make.com section, you'll see this, right? So if you want to get all the templates, etc., you can get that inside here. There we go. And then if you want to just steal the Telegram bot scenario, let me download that for you as well. So we'll export the blueprint there, go back to add the resource file. There we go. Leonard says your imagination is the limit with this one. Absolutely. There's so much you can do with this. The fact that you can connect, I think you could connect multiple AI agents together, but even anything that you can imagine you'd want to connect as an app, you can now connect inside here, which is really cool. So it's pretty powerful stuff. And then if we go back to Telegram, so I'm just going to find this example Telegram trigger right here. We'll say, okay, so I'm going to just ask it some questions about my sales SOP, right? Because that's what I've trained it to learn about, right? So for example, if I say, okay, what are 3 questions from the sales SOP I can ask a client to generate pain in the sales call? Now, it might take a little while to just retrieve that information, but you can see here that it's come up with those, right? So it said, okay, here are 3 questions based on the sales SOP that we've linked it to. So that's the document that we've trained it on. And I hope this is helpful. Now, all the responses from this are free because we're using AI Studio for the API. And the only thing that we're paying for is $10 a month for Made.com. So it's pretty crazy. And then you could have Telegram on your phone. You could have it connected to your emails. You could be like, just go off and email John and tell him about lunch on Monday. Let's try that. Go off and make up the information yourself. Tell John about lunch on Friday, 12 p.m. Email him via me at juliangoldie.com. Make up the email yourself, content, etc. Obviously, I'm not going to send these emails to someone else, but you would insert your own email that you know, the name of the person that you want to email, etc. And they said, okay, I've sent John an email about lunch on Friday at 12 p.m. Let me know if there's anything I can help with. And then if we go to our sent inbox over here, lunch on Friday, ? So it came up with the subject line. It figured out who to send to. It said, hey, John, hope you're having a great week. I was wondering if you're free for lunch this Friday at 12 p.m. Let me know if you're available. Boom. All inside Telegram. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So that's basically how you can set up these AI agents with Make.com. It is very exciting. I'm just getting my head around it. So there's so much more you could do with this. And there's tons of short tutorials inside Make.com if you want to figure this stuff out. You can also have multiple different AI agents like you see right here. So we've got 3 different ones. And it really doesn't take long to set these up. If you go inside Telegram, you can get these bad boys set up as well. And then I can send emails, retrieve emails, access Google Docs. It could create Google Docs. Anything that Make.com can do, these AI agents can do as well. Right? So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all the templates from today, plus the full SOP, links to resources, etc., feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. This is a community focused on saving time and making money with AI, and it's based on how we've scaled our business with AI too. Inside the community, you can have 665 members, any questions that you have, and also there are weekly Q&A calls here. There's actually one happening today, so if you sign up today, you can join that today. And then also inside the classroom, there's tons of different tutorials, templates, workflows, and courses that you can learn to really just get ahead. For example, this crash course right here, this crash course is really focused on all the systems we've implemented into our business to save us time and get results, right? So feel free to get that link in the comments and description. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how to get more leads, traffic, and sales with SEO, feel free to get that. And we'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you're going to get a custom tailored game plan so you can generate more leads, sales, and profits. You'll discover the secrets of SEO link building. We'll answer any questions you have one-to-one on the call, based on what's working for our happy clients, like you see from all the testimonials right here. Appreciate it. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.